Namaskar, hello and welcome friends to Finavision, your one-stop solution for CFA exams. My name is Shushmit Aditya Mukherjee. I'm an educator and an investment research analyst, and this video is a short excerpt from the full class series for CFA Level 3 curriculum. Hope you enjoyed this video. Let's get started.
Macroeconomic linkages. So right now, whatever business cycles we are discussing, whatever interest rates we are discussing, whatever monetary markets we are discussing, whatever yield curves we are discussing, they were basically confined to the idea of a state or a country, right? But a country is not an isolated entity. It is part of the global monetary system or the global economic system. And to understand fully the economic implications, we have to understand the interaction between a state entity and the global entity as a whole, right? And for that, we need to understand what are the macroeconomic linkages. Macroeconomic linkages means what is the linkage between a state, the economy of a state, and the global economy as a whole. Now, there are two ways to understand the linkages of a state and the global economic systems. The two ways are current account and capital account. Now, the current account and capital account are like assets and liabilities, right? So if you have a surplus current account, you will have a deficit capital account. If you have a surplus capital account, you are going to have a deficit current account. Now, what do we mean by current account deficit and current account surplus? Current account surplus means exports are greater than imports. Current account surplus means exports are greater than imports, right? So this means X minus M is positive. Exports minus imports is positive, greater than 0. Now the equation for current account equates this excess of exports with the excess of domestic private savings plus the excess of government earnings through taxes. Excess of exports is equal to sum of domestic savings plus the government savings or government income, excess government income through taxes. Now, what do we mean by excess? Excess of exports means exports minus imports. This is equal to excess of saving means savings minus investments, domestic savings minus business investments, plus excess of taxes earnings means tax earnings minus actual spendings of the government, which is given by G. Right? So this is the equation for current account. Let me highlight this. So preferably, economically speaking, a country would prefer surplus current account. That is, it should be able to export more than imports. Now, capital account is just the exact counterbalance of the current account. So ideally, economically speaking, you want a deficit capital account. You want a deficit capital account. Imports should be less than exports, which means M minus X should be less than 0. Right? This is just the other way of looking at it. X minus N is greater than 0 means M minus X is less than 0. It obviously implies. Now, what if capital account is surplus? If the capital account is surplus, this means that imports are greater than exports. And the equation for capital account is M minus X is equal to I minus S plus the government spending minus taxes. That is deficit spending. Right? So, excess imports of a nation, of a state, is equal to the sum of excess investments plus the deficit spending by the government, which is excess of their tax income, right? So if you have a surplus capital account, that means you have higher imports, which is the sum total of the excess investments and the excess government spendings, which means the government is spending more than it earns through taxes, right? Now, if a country is in surplus capital account, what can it do? It can increase the taxes. One way can be tariffs, or it can reduce the spendings, reducing welfare or other infrastructure spendings, etc., etc. They can do that. Or the citizens can focus more on savings, right? The citizens of the nation can focus more on savings while the risky investments are rationalized. Now, this is how the mathematics goes. But what if we want to subjectively understand what is capital account and what is current account, right? So here it goes. The current account is what your exports are compared to your imports. And capital accounts can be thought of as a comparison between the foreign investments like FDI and FPI, foreign direct investments, foreign portfolio investments, compared to domestic savings. Domestic savings. This savings, we are talking about both the savings of the government and the domestic citizen. So we can imagine capital accounts and current accounts in this way. Although mathematically, how it is, we have already seen, right? Then generally speaking, capital accounts are about strategy and influence. What degree of influence, what kind of influence a country is trying to have on the globe, and what is the strategy, what is the global positioning strategy of that state. That is what capital accounts looks at. And current accounts is about how healthy the economics are, how productive the nation is. That is how the current account is looked at, right? Now, these two have to be balanced, and sometimes one has to be compromised against the other. And there are multiple ways in which this kind of balancing or this kind of trade-offs can be done, right? There are essentially 4 ways that we are going to discuss how the capital accounts and the current accounts can be balanced.
The link to the full class video is given in the description below. Please check that out. Thank you so much friends for being with me till the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video, please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more such classes. Share your feedback in the comment section below and share this video with a friend who may find this helpful. For enrollment to practical application courses, internships and CFA curriculum classes, check the description below. Till then, keep watching Finavision. See you in the next class.